Hey there, Mets fans. The BatFrie, Kenny Fry here, letting you know what's coming up here on the Bat Cave. I'll be talking Mets versus Brewers. That whole fiasco. Uh, Mets versus Tigers, the first game of the series of that series. Yesterday was rained out. I'll also be talking about that punk Reese Hoskins. What my thoughts on that were, and also some Pete Alonso talk, and this, that, and the other, and it's not a good start to the season. That and much more. So stay tuned to the Batcave. Good morning, New York Mets Nation, and welcome to the Bat Cave. I'm your host, the BatFrie, Kenny Fry. And you know what day it is? It is Hump Day! Damn straight. As you can tell, I'm still battling a little bit of a cold here, sore throat. It is actually getting better. It's been about 2.5 weeks, and yeah, it sucks ass is what it does. I got a comment here to kick the show off before we get into the Mets stuff. Eileen, what's up, Eileen? She says, "Good morning, Mr. Kenny Fry." Good morning, Eileen. Thank you for checking the show out, and of course, thank you for commenting. All right, let's kick this shindig off here with opening day. I guess what better place to start than the beginning, I guess. Mets versus Milwaukee. Mets open the season up against the Brewers at home. Now, I felt like last season the Mets didn't play very well against the Brewers. Now, seasons, players, rosters change, all that good stuff. But last season, I could be wrong. I do remember the first series the Mets played the Brewers. It was in Milwaukee, and we got our butts kicked. We got our asses handed to us. All 3 or 4 games. I don't remember. For some reason, I feel like it was a 4-game set. I could be wrong with that as well. But I do know we got our asses kicked in Milwaukee last season. I think it was the second or third series of the season. We did open up at the Marlins last year, and so on and so on. But yeah, and so we fast forward to this season. We open it up with the Brewers, and it did not go well at all. So let me start with the first game. What I'm going to do is, go ahead, read off some stats and all that good stuff and go from there. All right, so starting pitcher for us, Jose Quintana, 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, 85 pitches. Not a great start for Jose Quintana. Really struggled to kind of find a rhythm. Was throwing. He had a hard time finding the strike zone. Overall, you look at the stat line: 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, 85 pitches. Not bad. But then you look at the stat line of 4 2/3 innings. Like, that's not good at all. The Mets last year, starting rotation, especially early on in the season, really struggled getting out of the 5th inning or getting past the 5th inning. And here we are starting the season off with Jose Quintana going 4 2/3. Kind of stunk. Drew Gilbert comes in, pitches an inning, a third, 1 strikeout, 16 pitches overall. Jorge Lopez comes in, he pitches the inning, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 8 pitches. And then Michael Tonkin comes in, 2 innings pitched, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 33 pitches. Pretty good outing for Tonkin there. Lineup wise, so we lost the Brewers 3-1. So you figure 3-1. There's not a whole lot of offense to speak of. We had 1 hit. That's all we had is 1 damn hit. I feel like Bob Uecker's character from Major League, the first Major League movie, He's reading through the box score. Things aren't going well for the Indians. And he's like, what do we have here? Monty's going through. He goes, one hit. That's all we had is one goddamn hit. And, Monty covers the microphone up. He says, you can't say goddamn on the radio. He's like, nobody's listening anyway. There we go. That's how I felt looking at this stat line, this box score. It was not very good at all. Nimmo 0 for 4, Lindor 0 for 3, Alonso 0 for 3, McNeil 0 for 3. Why McNeil's bad cleanup is beyond me. Whatever. So you look at that. That's what, 7, 10, 0 for 13. 1 through 4, 0 for 13. Unbelievable. Starling Marte had our lone hit and lone run with a solo homer, which was a nice shot as a rip. Good for him. Good for Starling Marte. He was swinging a pretty strong bat throughout spring training and actually through the start of the season. A lot of his balls that he put in play, hit very hard. DJ Stewart 0 for 2. Francisco Alvarez 0 for 3. Brett Beatty 0 for 3. And Harrison Bader 0 for 3 with a walk. Conversely, on the other side, we had Christian Yelich, who was 3 for 4 with a home run. Jackson Churio, 1 for 3, 1 RBI, stolen base. William Contreras, or is it Wilson Contreras? I think it's William. 0 for 3, 1 RBI. Freddie Peralta pitched for the Brewers, was fantastic. Peralta was fantastic. What are you gonna like? So the thing with opening day is normally you're facing the other team's ace. Normally, our ace is on the injured list. Kodai Senga. Jose Quintana is not an ace by any stretch of the imagination. He's a 3 or 4 starter. He's not an ace. He's not a 2. But he's opening day for us. And it is what it is. Really, it is what it is. We have a rotation kind of in disarray right now with all the injuries and stuff like that. What are you gonna do? But Peralta looked very, very good. 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 Ks, 92 pitches. He looks like he's gonna be pretty good. So the big news coming out of this first game. Excuse me. Before I get to it, I got Yuki Matsui checking in. What's up, Yuki? Thank you for checking the show out. And thank you for commenting. And he says, Hump Day! There it is. Pardon me if I'm coughing into my little microphone here. I'm trying to avoid that, but it is what it is. So the big news out of the first game was the Rhys Hoskins slide. Was it 30? Wasn't it 30? Is Jeff McNeil overreacting? Is he, right to be reacting that way? There's so many different ways to look at this. You have the people that are, old school baseball. They show video of, guys rolling 6 feet after second base, taking out the shortstop or second baseman trying to turn a double play, stuff like that. And all right, it's not 1976. It's not 1988. It's, not 1993. All right, this is new day and age. Things are different now. All right, there's different rules in to prevent injuries. And why do you want to prevent injuries? Because these guys are making a crap ton of money. You want these guys on the field. All right, back in 1976, they were not making a crap ton of money. They're making good money, nowhere near what they're making today. And somebody got hurt. Well, whatever. It is what it is. So there's rules in place for stuff like this. Overall, it was reviewed. The umpire saying it was a clean slide. All right, you go back and look at the slide. Rhys Hoskins coming off ACL surgery. Not running the fast. He's not fleet of foot to begin with. Even before his surgery, he wasn't fleet of foot. Even more so now. Not very fast. So he's running. You got a kind of an outside throw from Brett Beatty to Jeff McNeil. Rhys Hoskins takes a late slide. It's pretty late. And here's the only problem I had with it, all right? I understand he wants to break up the double play. I get that 100%. I don't understand why he can't slide into the bag and kind of stand himself up. If you ask me, that's probably a better way to break up the double play because second baseman and shortstops are so athletic nowadays, they just jump over your ass. But I think partly because of where the throw was, there was no chance for Jeff McNeil to jump over or, whatever Reese Hoskins sliding. So he slides past the base, holding onto the base with his hand. His I think it was his, I don't know, left cleat, left spike, slides right into Jeff McNeil's right leg, right in the ankle area. And while that's happening, he's rolling up into Jeff McNeil's left knee. All right. So umpires say this is a legal slide. I think it's a clean slide. It looks shitty. It looks crappy. It looks like somebody could be seriously hurt. But overall, I think it's a clean slide as well. But Jeff McNeil has every right to be pissed off. This is game one. You have a dude spiking you in the ankle, then rolling up on your leg. I would be pissed off. Anybody would be pissed off at that. There's not a major league second baseman or shortstop that would not have done the same damn thing that Jeff McNeil did there. Not one. I'm telling you, not one. Every single one of them would have gotten up and complained. Okay? Not one of them. Every single second baseman and shortstop would have done that. Would have stood up. They would have had some sort of issue. You know, maybe not as demonstrative as Jeff McNeil. All right. But there would have been an issue with it. A spike to the right leg, rolling up into the left knee. There would have been issues. Any second baseman and shortstop would have had an issue with that. The benches would have cleared. Managers would have been arguing, been finger pointing, bullpens walking out, whatever. Well, the same thing that just happened in that game. All right. So Jeff McNeil is giving Reese Hoskins the what for. He's telling him McNeil's using all sorts of F words and pointing the finger. And so what does Reese Hoskins do? All right, maybe Reese Hoskins is taking the high road. He walks away without even looking back, takes a light jog off. His team's coming out. He's still kind of looking back like, oh, what's going on? Like he doesn't know because McNeil's just hovering over him, yelling at him like he doesn't know what's going on. He gets to his teammates. He's standing behind his teammates. Then he decides to start yelling. Then he becomes a big man. That's when Reese Hoskins yells, oh, well, let me puff up my chest and stand behind my whole team while little Jeff McNeil's hollering at me. Come on, Reese Hoskins, you punk. Then he gets in the dugout and, McNeil's still chirping at him. Well, and then Reese Hoskins gives, dude, you did nothing when you're out in the field. McNeil was right there. You did not say a word to him. You ran off like a little punk. Well, again, I thought you were taking a high road, which is fine, whatever. You shrug it off, big deal. Okay, I'm cool with that. But you're going to turn around and chirp back once you get behind your team? Take off the skirt, Reese Hoskins. Holy cow. It's ridiculous. Again, I thought it was a clean slide, but I also agree with Jeff McNeil. I agree he should have issue with that. Every single infielder would have had an issue with that. Any base. But then Reese Hoskins jogging off, pretending like McNeil wasn't just over top of him chirping, and then waits to for protection from his team to start chirping back. Get over it, man. Reese Hoskins, you're a punk. A punk. A couple comments here real quick while I simmer down some. Fantasy football girl, what's up? She says, good 4:20 morning from Texas. Ooh, yeah, it is. It's early there. Well, I guess what Texas, depending on what part of Texas you're from, so maybe you're 2 hours behind me, maybe. Yuki Matsui checking in. He says, Reese Hoskins, dirty slide, but the MLB commissioner won't punish taunting and aggressive fouls. The Mets should have been bigger, be the bigger man, and play better. They should have played better. I agree 100%. I get why McNeil was pissed. I absolutely do. He went a little far with it. It was a little bit much. But, I mean, they reviewed it and they said it was a clean slide. All right, it is what it is. Eileen, it was a clean slide, but still dirty. And that's kind of what I'm saying. It was a clean slide, but, I mean, come on. Like, really? There's so many different ways to break up a double play. And that's the one that he went with, a late slide to the outside of the bag into McNeil's legs in the first game of the season. Really? That's what we're doing? It's a clean slide, still dirty. That's exactly what my thoughts are there, Eileen. And I was 100% surprised that they didn't rule it a dirty slide. I was very surprised by that. Just because the way it looked, the way it went, and with the player safety in mind and stuff like that. The Buster Posey rule with catchers and stuff. How catchers are so limited now as to what they can block, what they can't block, and now the new rules about blocking the bag and stuff like that. We've seen that against the Mets during the spring training. I believe the spring training, it was ridiculous. Excuse me. Try not to cough into the microphone again. All right, so moving on from that, I simmered down some. Mets lose the first game 3-1. How do they respond? All right, things are brought up. Does Severino throw at Hoskins? Do they just forget about it and just play the game? Me personally, I say forget about it, just play the game. It's game number 2. If it's July, June, July, August, and you want to plunk his ass. Game number 2, whatever. It is what it is. Move on. And that's what it seemed like the Mets were going to do. All right, so let me go through the box score here. Mets lose again, 7-6. Severino, 5 innings pitched, 12 hits, 6 earned runs, no walks. He did not plunk. Rhys Hoskins, 6 strikeouts, 88 pitches. Jake Diekman, 1 inning pitched, 1 strikeout, 12 pitches. Yohan Ramirez, a third of an inning pitched and 7 pitches. All right, so a third of an inning pitched. That's kind of an odd number, but that happens, for relief pitchers occasionally. So why does he have a third of an inning pitched? Well, because he threw behind Rhys Hoskins. The Mets are already down. I don't know if it was 6-1 or 5-1, whatever the score was. The Mets are already down multiple runs late in the game, 6th inning, I think it was. And actually, I think the 7th inning. I think it's the 7th inning. Top of the 7th. Mets are already down. He throws, I don't know how fast it was, but it was a fastball behind Rhys Hoskins, kind of shoulder height behind him. Bench is clear. Rhys Hoskins stands there with a puzzled look on his face. And I agree, this was a bad look. If you're going to hit the guy, it has to be first at bat. If you're going to hit the guy, it has to be in the ass. I don't know why you need to throw 100 mile an hour to try to hit a guy if you're going to hit a guy. That's why I'm not 100% sure if it was totally on purpose or not. I don't think that I'm not 100% sure if this was intentional. I'm kind of like 70-30, like 70% it was intentional, 30% like I don't think it was, because he does get a little bit wild. He does have a heater and sometimes he has a hard time controlling it, but that was way, way behind Rhys Hoskins. So, I mean, it's the one thing I never really understood, like how pitchers miss hitting somebody. Take a little bit off and just throw the ball. Hit him in the ass and be done with it. But for some reason, they dial it up a little bit, want to get a little bit extra juice on it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But anyway, he gets ejected for throwing at Rhys Hoskins. Carlos Mendoza gets ejected, the head coach. And it's a shit show. So look at the rest of the pitching. Lopez, he went 2/3 of an inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 10 pitches. Ottavino, 1 inning pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, and 24 pitches. And Edwin Diaz making an appearance, 1 inning pitch, 1 hit, 1 strikeout on 18 pitches. All right. So looking at our lineup, Nimmo 1 for 5, not very good. Lindor 1 for 5, not very good. Pete Alonso 2 for 4, solo home run. That was a very, very hard hit ball. I think 113 mile an hour off the bat. Taylor, for some reason, was batting cleanup. 0 for 3. Stewart came in to pinch hit. He was 0 for 2. So out of the DH spot, or no, that was that, I think, right field. I think Marte was DH that game. But anyway, 0 for 5 out of the 4 hole. Not good at all. Marte 1 for 3, scored 2 runs. Jeff McNeil 1 for 4. Francisco Alvarez 3 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBI. He hammered a home run as well. All this coming after the missed, beaning of Rhys Hoskins, I guess you'd call it. I don't know what you'd call it. And so the Mets, did have a little bit of fight, fought back, but just came up short. Speaking of short, Zach Short was 1 for 3. Brett Beatty came up with a pinch hit, 3-run home run against a lefty, no doubt. The Mets brought him in to pinch hit. There was a righty on the mound, and as soon as they did that, the Brewers called in a lefty, which makes sense. That's what you do. So the Mets let Beatty in. First pitch, fastball, crushed it. Beautiful hit. Good for Brett Beatty. It's good to see that. Hopefully Brett Beatty turns the corner this year, which, my predictions for stats this year, I said I think he's going to turn the corner. It's going to be much better than it was last season. It's still not going to be great, but it's going to be much, much better. Harrison Bader, 1 for 4. So looking at the Brewers, Contreras was 3 for 5. Christian Yelich, 2 for 5 with an RBI. Adames, 2 for 5 RBI, 2 runs. And here's the kicker. Here's the killer. Rhys Hoskins was 3 for 4, 2 runs, 4 RBI, also had a 2-run home run. Jackson Chourio, 2 for 5. And Terang, 3 stolen bases. Frelick also had a stolen base. Brewers are just swiping bases left and right. No regard. Didn't give a shit. Just taking them whenever they want to. Frustrating. So the other part of the bad look on the Mets trying to plunk Rhys Hoskins in the 7th inning was that he's already killing us. The dude was killing us, home run, doubles, all that good stuff. And then you try to hit him. It looks really bad. Again, I'm not really 100% sure if it was on purpose, but it looks shitty either way. So we move on from that game. Coming out of that game, we have Yohan Ramirez, originally suspended 3 games for throwing at Rhys Hoskins, and manager Carlos Mendoza was suspended for a game. He took that suspension the final game against the Brewers, and Yohan Ramirez appealed his suspension. So we go to the final game against the Brewers. You're figuring the Mets are going to come in fired up, hyped up, try to get a little bit of revenge here, but no. They lose again. They get swept in their home opener here. They lose 4-1 to the Brewers. Tylor McGill comes in. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 4 Ks, 78 pitches. He actually gave up 2 runs. There was a run off of a catcher's interference, I believe it was, with Omar Narvaez catching. Yohan Ramirez, I figure he's going to be off a couple days due to suspension, so you use him up, eat some innings. Since McGill went 4 innings. McGill went 4 innings because felt some stiffness in his shoulder. We'll talk about that in a second here. So Yohan Ramirez comes in, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 41 pitches. Drew Smith comes in, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 25 pitches. And Brooks Raleigh, 1 inning, 2 Ks, 16 pitches. I got a comment here from Yuki Matsui saying the Mets can't even retaliate correctly. We didn't even hit him. And it was nowhere. It wasn't even close. Like he didn't have to you see people trying to get out of the way of ball behind him, where they kind of tighten their butt cheeks. They kind of lean into it like this, to get away from it. He didn't even have to do that. I don't even know if he felt the breeze of the ball go by him. It was that far behind him. It's like this is ridiculous. That's unbelievable. Yeah, you're right. It's you can't even do it right. Frustrating. Looking at our hitters, Nimmo 0 for 4, Lindor 0 for 4, Pete was 2 for 4, McNeil 0 for 4, Starling Marte 1 for 4, Alvarez 2 for 3 with a run scored. Brett Beatty 1 for 4, Tyrone Taylor 1 for 3, 1 RBI, and Omar Narvaez 0 for 4. For the Brewers, a couple of guys, Wilson Contreras 2 for 5, 1 run and an RBI. Adames 2 for 3, an RBI. Terang 2 for 4, 2 runs, a stolen base. Chourio 2 for 4, RBI. And pitching for the Brewers was Colin Ray. He started 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 84 pitches. And Christian Yelich also had 2 stolen bases. Stealing bases the whole goddamn series. Unbelievable. Excuse me. Yuki says, can we elect Alvarez for president of USA? Technically, no, but why not? The hell with it. Why not? One, he doesn't meet the age requirement, and 2, he wasn't born in the United States, but he got my vote. He's looking good so far early in the season. He's looking really good. And like I mentioned, all these stolen bases, some his fault, some not his fault. What are you going to do? But at the plate, he looks very comfortable. He looks really confident. Really like what I see from Alvarez. All right. So Mets get swept by the Brewers, and it is what it is. Like, what are you gonna do? I mean, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. It's the first series. I try not to overreact. A lot of people do overreact, and I guess I get it. It's your favorite team. You wait all off season, and you get a little bit of hope during the spring training. Some guys look better than you thought they might have looked. Than you were expecting, and then when we get to the games, big fat eggs. Can't hit the ball. Starting pitching not all that great. Besides Sean Manaea, who I'll talk about the next game here. Bullpen wise, for the most part, I think that the bullpen looked pretty decent. Drew Smith, Brooks Raleigh, Edwin Diaz getting a couple innings in. Michael Tonkin getting a couple innings in. He looked well in the first series too. Even Johan Ramirez, pitching those 3 innings, only giving up 2 runs. Not terrible, but yeah, and hopefully this isn't like a foreshadowing of our season here. Hopefully this is just like a low point, and it is what it is. I see a lot of people. I think even Carlos Mendoza said it. You go through your ups and downs throughout a season, but you don't want your down to be the first damn series of the season. You don't want your down to be the first series. I mean, if you can come out of there 1-2 with something positive, you can't. There's nothing positive out of it. And not to mention, Tyler McGill goes down injured. He's now on the 15-day DL or IL, whatever you want to call it, since we don't say disabled list anymore. It's the injured list. And so who knows how long he's going to be actually out. This is something similar that he had happen. I think it was 2022 or 2021. I think it was 2022. He said it's not as bad as it was then, so he doesn't think he'll be out very long. But he's out. He's on the 15-day DL. He's going to miss his next start. And, so what are the Mets going to do? Or who are they going to throw in his place? So they put him on the IL. They call up Reed Garrett because you figure Johan Ramirez is going on the he's going to be suspended, and he got his suspension actually reduced to 2 games, so it's only going to be 2 games. But we recall Reed Garrett from Syracuse, so he's now on the roster. But when his turn comes up to pitch, we can't call up Jose Butto until I think it's said April 12th because he was optioned to the minor leagues. I guess I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I think he was originally brought into spring training as part of the 40-man roster maybe or something like that. And then he was optioned to AAA, so he can't be called up until after a certain date. It's something like that, something along the lines of that. Him and I think Joey Lucchesi as well. So does that mean we're going to see some of these younger guys? Are we going to see a Christian Scott, Dominic Hamill, or even Mike Vasil or Vassell, however you say his last name? I don't know. I think it's Vassell. Are we going to see one of these young guys, or is it going to be the dreaded bullpen game? I hate the bullpen games. I can't stand it. It works for the Rays, but I'm not a Rays fan. I'm a Mets fan. I hate the bullpen games. I hate the whole analytics part of everything here. I hate that we have Jeff McNeil batting cleanup a couple of these games. Why do we have Taylor batting cleanup? He should be batting cleanup. I get it. We don't have a true blue DH right now until DJ Martinez comes up, but still, it's put Alvarez cleanup, something different, or move Alonso back to cleanup, and I don't know, Marte in the third hole, or move Lindor back to the 3-hole, Marte in the 2-hole. I don't know. I just don't like seeing that. It bothers the hell out of me, and I don't like the whole analytics thing. Some of the analytics stuff I understand, but I think sometimes it goes too far. It really does. I got a comment here from Yuki. The worst part is that the Brew crew played with a chip on their shoulders because we stole their GM last year, and also a few of their players. Who else? Who came over? Sean Manaea. I believe he was the Brewer. was Taylor a Brewer? There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them on our roster that were Brewers last season, and but yeah, I mean, and not only that, but also some of the trades that they made, they lost some guys this season, to either trades or free agency. Um, I, for some reason, I'm drawing a blank on his name. They traded away. He was their ace, their best pitcher. They traded him to, I think, Baltimore. Was it Baltimore? They traded him to. For some reason, I spacing on his name. For some reason, I would say Cole, but I don't think that's it. But anyway, they're out to prove something. That they're not gonna take a step back. They're gonna take a step forward. The Brewers, and compete for the NL Central. So there it is. There it is. Thank you, Yuki. Corbin Burns. There we go. Thank you. I knew it wasn't Cole, but Cole just kept popping in my head. I'm like, it's not Cole. It's not Cole anything. It's not Cole something or something Cole. I kept thinking Garrett Cole. But I know it's not him. He's Yankee, and he's hurt or whatever. Let me get a sip of iced tea here for the working man. Clear my throat some. Excuse me. If you're just tuning in, bear with me. It's 2.5 weeks I've had the sore throat, and it's starting to break up now. It's starting to get a little bit better, but occasionally still have a cough, and I start to lose my voice a little bit. All right. One more bit of drama to start the season before I move on to the Tigers here. A lot of people were pissed off that Pete Alonso went to a Zach Bryan concert Saturday night and got on stage and was singing a song. I think it's ridiculous that people are pissed off about it. It's the first series of the season. I know Boomer Esiason was up in arms. You're in the middle of a losing streak, which, at that point was what? 2? The first, I mean, really, Boomer Esiason? I get, Boomer Esiason, football season, not doing that. 2 games, that's what, like a quarter, a fifth of your season or a 60 year season or something. I don't know. I get that, but yeah, no, I'm not buying. Yeah, anybody that's seen Zach Bryan, I'm not a country fan. I don't like country music. I like my hard rock. I like Korn, Slipknot, all that good stuff. My daughter likes country. My wife likes country music. So my daughter, for Christmas, Santa Claus brought her tickets to see Zach Bryan, and my wife was going to go with her. I'm like, thank the Lord, I don't have to go see this country music guy at State College, Pennsylvania, in State College, Pennsylvania. Well, my wife has to go away for work that week. So now I was stuck taking my daughter to see Zach Bryan in State College, Pennsylvania. So 2 days before the show, my daughter plays me some Zach Bryan music. And I'm like, dear Lord, this is going to be awful. Because I'm not a country fan. But we get there, and it was a hell of a show. It was a very good show. I would go see Zach Bryan again. I am still not going to listen to Zach Bryan in my truck, but I would go see Zach Bryan again live. It was a lot of fun. It sounded good. The crowd was into it. I don't blame Pete Alonso for getting on there and singing. That's a win for Pete Alonso. Somebody had to win this weekend. Pete Alonso won, getting on stage singing with Zach Bryan. There we go. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get the vitriol for it. I don't understand the anger behind it. It's the second game of the season. All right. It's not the middle of July. It's not September, and the wild card is on the line. Pete Alonso has to be at home studying film and furrowing his brow as to why he grounded out or struck out again or something. No, I don't. He went out at night. Now, granted, they had a day game the next day at 1:40. He went out at night. The concert's over before midnight. First off, the concert's over 11 p.m. You figure Pete gets home by midnight, all right? He's in bed by 12:30, 1 o'clock. As a grown adult, I work night shift. I sleep 4 hours, 5 hours. I feel fine. I feel great. Pete Alonso, a fine-tuned athletic machine, sleeping 5, 6 hours, 7 hours. The game's at 1 o'clock. Probably has to be at the field for, 10 a.m. Plenty of sleep there. Plenty of rest for Pete. Put his head on his little polar bear, pillows or whatever he has, polar bear pajamas or something. He's going to be fine. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It boggles my mind. And he's had a pretty decent start to the season too. I would say 2 for 4. The one game was 0 for 3, and that was probably the game he went to see Zach Bryan. And the first game he was 2 for 4, I think. Oh no, it was first game 0 for 3, 2 for 4 home run, and 2 for 4. So I mean, get over yourselves. Worried about what Pete Alonso's doing on his off time. Yuki Matsui says Met star Pete Alonso sings with Zach Bryan on stage during show at UBS Arena during losing streak. I think 2 games into the season. I get it. That constitutes a losing streak. But, you come see me when it's 10, 15. Then I'll be pissed off. 2, get out of here with that. Yeah, maybe if he would have thought that hey, we're definitely going to lose Sunday, maybe I shouldn't go. All right, whatever. But he doesn't know they're going to lose Sunday. Whoop. Yuki says, I cringe listening to Zach Bryan quitting time Mets 2024 anthem. Oh, I didn't even know it was their anthem. Oh, I guess I get it now. Quitting time, the Mets anthem. Yeah, it is pretty much. Yeah, you're right. It is their anthem. But I'll tell you what, again, I don't like country music. I'm not going to say I despise it, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. But he put on a hell of a show. Do put on a good show. It's kind of pricey, but it was a good show. Eileen says, I saw Gio from WFAN was saying the Mets should blow it up if they keep losing. I don't know what they're going to blow up. I mean, what's there to blow up? I mean, all these guys are like on 1-year deals except for Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil. I think Marte has 1 more year. Alvarez, Beatty, they're still off of their, I think, rookie deals probably, I'm assuming. But everybody's on 1-year deals anyway. So, what are you going to blow up? I mean, there was talking, this is something I talked about before Eileen on the Batcave, was the prospect of trading Pete Alonso at the trade deadline to get something back for him and then re-signing him the offseason. I mean, there's so many young guys in our farm system coming up right now that I'm not, when you say blow it up, I'm not, if that's the route they went, I wouldn't be overly upset either. I want to see guys like, Drew Gilbert get up here and, Jet Williams, Luis Angel Acuna, pretty good, right? I used to struggle with that. I say they're pretty good now. I want to see those guys up here. Mike Vassell, Christian Scott, keep building that farm system up. And if that means trading away some pieces, Jeff McNeil, he's the one that's been up. His name was brought up so many times last season and this offseason that I expected to be brought up a bunch this season as well. I mean, but if he keeps going 0 for, nobody's going to trade for his ass anyway. But and again, it's only a couple games. Like Eileen says here, it's 4 games. Just talking about the Brewers, that was 3 games, but still, we're 4 games in after the loss to Detroit, and right away they want to blow it up. They want to destroy it. They want to, again, sky's falling. The sky's falling. Sky's falling. Just chill out, all right? Chill out, relax, let things play out. So moving on from the Brewers, excuse me. The Mets played Detroit. Detroit came into New York, and Detroit just coming off of a sweep of the White Sox, so they're 3-0. So that's not really the Detroit Tigers you want to see. You want to see the Detroit Tigers that are crappy like last season, but these are the Tigers that we got. Eileen says, "Are they going to have people show up again tonight? Wait 2 hours and then call it like last?" I hope not. I was watching a clip before I went live of Gary Cohen and Keith Hernandez talking live to I don't know who they're talking to, maybe SNY guys. I'm not really sure. But then when they went off air, just the look on Gary's face was, it really said it all. He looked pissed. He looked disgusted. That's bull. It rained. You knew it was going to rain. It was in the forecast. Just call it. It's early enough in the season where it's not going to really, destroy schedules, or you have to figure out when are we going to play this game. Just call it. Now, I don't know what it's like in New York City today, but I know here today in Pennsylvania, it rained all freaking night while I was at work. And so far, it's, what time is it? It's 10:20, 10:40, 10:40 in the morning, and it's rained all morning so far. Looking out the window, it's really windy, and it's raining. So it's supposed to be like this all day yet. So I'm assuming, New York's probably close to the same weather pattern, same system. So I'm assuming it's probably raining. Eileen says raining again, and will be raining all day again. Call it now. Just call it now. I don't know. Call it now. Let's play a triple header on Thursday versus Detroit. The hell with it. Triple header. I'm calling it now. It's triple header. Excuse me. Yeah. So I think Thursday's game is actually the makeup game from Tuesday. So yeah, it'd be a doubleheader on Thursday. They just cancel it now and be a doubleheader on Thursday. That's what they should do. All right. So looking at the first game here, the stats, we had Sean Manaea making his Mets debut. Pitched fantastic. He pitched really, really well. 6 innings pitched, 1 hit. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 88 pitches. He had 5 2/3 of no-hit ball before Banya singled to break up that no-hitter, but he looked very good. Lopez, 1 inning pitch, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 21 pitches. Brooks Raleigh, 1 inning pitch, 1 strikeout, 10 pitches. Edwin Diaz, 1 inning pitch, 2 strikeouts, 15 pitches. We go into extra innings. Michael Tonkin pitches, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 25 pitches. So you say, well, the game went 10 innings and it was 5-0. How did Michael Tonkin get out of there with 0 earned runs but still gave up 5 runs? Errors. The fielding took a shit there in the 10th inning, and things just fell apart then. You had Zach Short going to field the ball. No, it was not Zach Short. Wendell. I can't think of his first name right now. Going to his right to field the ball. Hits off I think it hit off the heel of his glove. He was going to turn to double play, hit off the heel of his glove. He brought it. I remember watching the replay now. He kind of brought his eyes up a little bit too quick. I don't think he had any chance for a double play. I don't know why he just doesn't keep running into the ball, get it, and throw it to first base. I'm not really sure why he doesn't do that. Instead of trying to make the catch, the spin, the throw to second base, then trying for the guy at first. I don't think he would have gotten it anyway. I think there was already 1 out. I could be wrong with that. I think there was already 1 out. So why not just take that out at first base? Is that what it was? Or was it first and third? Yeah, it was first and third. Okay, it was first and third. That's what it was. First and third, 1 out. So that's why he went for the double play. Doesn't get it. Doesn't get any outs. Guy scores from third anyway. But still, I still don't know why. Just go for the sure out. It's going to be all next 0% chance to get that double play anyway. That run's going to score anyway. At least get the 1 out. It'll be 2 outs then. Runner at second base. Get that third out. Then you're only down 1-0 going into the bottom half of the 10th. Doesn't make the play at all. So now it's I think was it first and second then? I'm not sure. I can't remember if the guy advanced. But then a ball's hit back to Michael Tonkin. Hard enough where it probably could have been a double play. There's a high chopper, but it looked like it was hit hard enough. Well, that goes off his glove. That scored as a hit. I believe that scored as a hit. But still, that goes off his glove. Everybody's safe. I think runner scores off of that. Made it 2-0. And then who was it? Carson Kelly comes up, hits a 3-run homer, and there you have it, 5-0. No earned runs because of the error from Joey Wendell. as Yuki Matsui helped me once again. I said Zach Short. I knew it wasn't Short. I knew it was Wendell, but I couldn't remember freaking Wendell's. First, I was thinking Turk Wendell for some reason. It's like, Jesus Christ, taking a blast in a time machine here. Turk Wendell coming out there with the, what do you have? Shark's teeth or whatever it was, necklace or whatever the hell it was, some sort of tribal necklace. Yeah, he was a goofy lad. A decent pitcher for the Mets, but he was kind of odd. So looking at the batting lineup, Nimmo 0 for 3, a walk. He's hitting 0.63 again, early season. They really don't look at the averages anyway. Lindor 0 for 4, walk, strikeout. Alonso 0 for 4, strikeout. Alvarez 1 for 4. DJ Stewart 0 for 3 with a walk. Starling Marte 2 for 4. He's swinging the bat very well. 1 strikeout. Brett Beatty 1 for 4. They brought Zach Short in then as a defensive replacement, I believe, for Brett Beatty. Harrison Bader 1 for 3. Jeff McNeil, he pinch hit. I don't remember how many were on when McNeil pinched hit, but he went 0 for 1, strikeout. And Joey Wendell 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. So, I heard some people say that if McNeil's in the game there at second base, he makes that play. I don't know. So McNeil, after he pinched it for Harrison Bader, I think he went to right field. So, but I don't know. I don't know if he would have turned that double play. I don't know. I think it would have been, really, really close. I think they would have been safe. So yeah, for the Tigers, Torkelson scored an error by Wendell. Matt made it 1-0. Javi Baez sac fly made it 2-0, and Carson Kelly 3-run homer. So that's how scoring was done. Looking ahead, tonight is supposed to be Adrian Hauser's debut for the Mets against Casey Mize. Starting to lose my speaking ability here. I'm getting tongue-tied and voice is cracking. It's all Reese Hoskins' fault for I got all excited and amped up about that. But I don't think they're going to play today's game. I really don't. Like Eileen said, it's raining in New York. It's supposed to rain all day again, so just like it is here in Pennsylvania. So you look ahead at Thursday's matchup. It's supposed to be Tariq Skubal versus Jose Quintana. Tariq's first game, he went 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts versus the White Sox. And Quintana, like I said earlier, 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks against the Brewers on opening day. So I would expect if it is a doubleheader on Thursday that you'd still have Hauser versus Mize. So I think either way, Hauser's going to pitch against Detroit. Even if they bump Quintana back, even if it's not a doubleheader, even if they bump Quintana back a game, to Cincinnati, then I'd still expect Hauser to pitch against Detroit. So looking at the series ahead, who we got up next? We got Cincinnati on Friday. In Cincinnati, Severino's supposed to pitch versus Hunter Green. Hunter Green's first game, he went 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 7 Ks. And who'd they play? I don't remember. I don't know. They're playing the Phillies right now. I know that. And then Saturday on 4/6 in Cincinnati, the Mets are TBD. I believe that's McGill's spot in the rotation. But for Cincinnati, you're going to have Nick Martinez. His first game, he has 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And then Sunday, the listed starters are Sean Manaea, who I just talked about, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 walks, 8 Ks, versus Andrew Abbott. He went 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. And then that brings us to the next series, and the next time you'll see me on the Batcave, the Mets will be playing against the Braves on a 4-game set. So that's not a fun series, especially when things are not going well. But who knows? Maybe we take these next 2 games against Detroit, go to Cincinnati, maybe take 1 or 2 there, feel a little bit better about ourselves. The sky won't be falling anymore. See a little bit more positive things. Some more positivity. Maybe we'll get a McNeil hitting. Lindor's going to start hitting. It's going to happen. I started slow last season as well. He could just be one of those typical slow starters. Sometimes you have those hot starters who they get cold the rest of the season. Then you have the cold starters who get hot the rest of the season. That very well could be Lindor. Nimmo, I don't know what's going on with him. JD Martinez can't come up fast enough. I don't want to see DJ Stewart. DJ Stewart's this year's Vogelback, Daniel Vogelback. That's who DJ Stewart is to me. It was a nice story last year coming out, with the power and, hitting the ball hard. It was a nice story last year. I'm done with it. I'm over it. He had a 3-0 count against the Brewers. I think a runner on second, I want to say. He's swinging 3-0, got the green light, ball's right down the middle. He pops it straight up in the air. It's like, come on, man. Really? Like, he's paid to hit home runs, to smash the ball, just like Vogelback. And that's what he does. So frustrating. But again, tell myself it's the beginning. First series, it's the beginning. So the Mets start off 0-4. It's not a big deal. There's 158 games or 157 games to go yet. Everything's going to be fine. I still think they can contend for a wild card spot. They're not going to contend for the division. Braves and Phillies are much better, but I think they'll contend. I think they'll contend for a wild card spot yet. I still have faith. I predicted them to have between 80 and 85 wins. I still think that should be enough to at least contend for a final wild card spot, even though the West looks very, very strong. Like, they could have 3 teams coming out, but still, there's a couple spots there. Who knows? Maybe Philly stumbles this season. I don't know. The Central's looking strong. You expect St. Louis to have a bounce back season. The Cubs got better. The Brewers look decent. The Reds, they've gotten better. Pirates starting off somewhat hot, which we've seen in the past, and they eventually do cool down. Yuki says, Kenny, don't worry about Stewart. He will be gone when JD Martinez, the Messiah, arrives. I don't know if he's the Messiah, but he's going to be better than he's going to be better than DJ Stewart. You got JDs, DJs, screwing me all up here. I just hope when he does come up that he plays well. It's almost like we kind of deserve it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it's Mets fans. We would, we want a ray of sunshine. So like a move that actually works. Now, again, it's early. I know. Blah blah blah. I'm Mr. Positivity. I don't get negative. But sometimes you just look at a guy. It's like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, and I don't think it's going to happen for DJ Stewart. I mean, I don't know why they just can't use somebody else in that DH spot. Send his ass down. Bring up another reliever. Rotate. Like they had Starling Marte DH one day. They had Francisco Alvarez DH another day. Just send his ass down. Leave him down there in AAA. Let him get his hits down there and smash the ball down there. And let's have a rotational DH until DJ Stewart comes up. But no, we got this. It's frustrating, very frustrating. All right, so I'm going to read off a couple sponsors here before I hit the road. I got the little guy home from preschool today. He has pink eye. Yeah, there we go. Pink eye, the dreaded pink eye. He's kind of going through his daycare right now, his preschool. It is what it is. He's kind of scared when I put the drops in his eyes, but so it'll be better. It'll be okay, boy. Your eyes will be all better soon, and you'll be back to painting with your feet and fingers and all that kind of stuff at preschool, playing with your friends. We got Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. You can reach Big Al at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. Jason Fine specializes in motor vehicle accidents, slip and falls, workman's comp, and personal injury claims. He has 3 office locations conveniently located throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 3 Greensward Lane. The phone number there is 856-209-5258. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The phone number there is 412-365-8151. And in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. The phone number there is 267-888-2980. That's Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. Head on over to monkeycoldcoffee.com and get all your gourmet coffee needs. They have bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee, toasted coconut rum. They have a Sumatran blend coffee, medium roast. They have an organic blend coffee called Perula, Florida, and one of their newest blends, Golden Honey Agave. They're also selling on their website barrel aged honey, and be sure to check out their swag shop for t-shirts, coffee mugs, tumbler cups, cold brew pitchers, K-cup adapters, and don't forget that Paradise Rum Cake at monkeycoldcoffee.com. And at checkout, use that promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off your order. That promo code, once again, is OOTB Sports for 10% off your order at monkeycoldcoffee.com. Got a comment here before I hit the road. There's our boy, big old Shawnee. What's up, Sean? He says, I wish Yogi would have stayed with the Mets. What do you think? I remember Yogi as a Yankee. Yeah, he was with the Mets, I think, very, very short time. For some reason, I feel like he coached with the Mets. But yeah, that's just one of those guys that's, he could have played for 6 other teams, but he'll always be a Yankee. Won 50 championships with the Yankees or so. Excuse me. But yeah, Yogi's always a Yankee. Yuki says, to celebrate Vientos and Acuna liking Hoskins' home run against the Mets Instagram post, I'm going to like Bryce Harper's 3 home run Instagram post. Yeah, I don't know what that whole deal was with Vientos and Acuna. Not really sure. And I also don't give a shit. It's people do stupid things sometimes. Maybe it's a mistake. I mean, I can't tell you. There's a couple times where I'm scrolling through the phone, stop on something. My thumb is kind of lingering, just above a pitcher, and it just drops a little bit. And then all of a sudden, it likes it. Like, oh, shit. Yeah, I unlike right away. But, is that something that happened? I don't know. But I did hear that they Vientos and Acuna liked Hoskins' home run against the Mets on the Instagram. On the old gram, as the kids say. And Bryce Harper had himself a hell of a night last night. I know that. My daughter's a Phillies fan and kept getting updates. And I was going like this, Bryce Harper. All right. So before I get out of here, I want to let you know I'll be live this Friday, 10 a.m., Silver and Black Lair, talking Las Vegas Raiders and LA Kings hockey. We're heading 8 games left before the playoffs. Kings are in a tight race for the last wild card spot. We'll see what happens there. Not playing great hockey right now, but you just got to get into the tournament. I say it all the time. You just got to get into the tournament. Everybody's 0-0. Anything can happen. The first Kings Stanley Cup back in 2012, they were an 8 seed. You never know. You just never know what could happen. And you just got to get in. And also Friday night, 10:30 p.m., we will be live, the Atomic Drop podcast, doing a WrestleMania preview. Also our predictions for the show and that and much, much more. Then Saturday, we'll be doing a post show after night 1 for WrestleMania. And Sunday, night 2, we'll also be doing a post show. So make sure to check all those out. And all of our shows here at Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. Please like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Check all of our social media sites out. And like I said, please like, follow, and subscribe. We appreciate it very, very much. All right, so that's all I have for today. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with me and letting me yell about Rhys Hoskins being a punk. And I tell you what, I would hope Rhys Hoskins would see this. I'd like Rhys Hoskins to step up to the BatFrie and say, what are you going to do, fat ass? And I'll tell you, I'd get my beard up into his chin and I'd start, give him the old Jeff McNeil business and watch him walk away until he got behind his boys and he'd start yelling back. That's what would happen if Rhys Hoskins stepped up to the BatFrie. I put my foot in his ass and he'd walk away. Reese Hoskins, punk. Last comment of the day. Sean says, yes, he did coach for the Mets. I saw a movie that came out without him in Arizona. It was really good. It was like a documentary. I saw a movie that came out without him in Arizona. All right. Is that the name of the movie, Without Him in Arizona? Or I don't know. Anyway, thank you for checking the show out, Sean. Thank you for commenting. And everybody else, Yuki, Eileen, thank you for commenting. Thank you for checking the show out. Fantasy Football Girl, you as well. Thank you for checking the show out and commenting. And okay, it came out about him in Arizona. All right. I wasn't able to decipher your Shawnese there, Lazard chick. All right, see everybody later. Thank you for checking the show out. Once again, I said it like 50 times now. Be sure to check me out again next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Let's go Mets.